Hey guys, Auspicious'Aussie here, and welcome to episode 56 of the Local to Global. As you can tell, I am still sick. I've been sick all weekend, hence the no uploads for a few days. But I'm feeling good enough to at least record a video for you guys, and hopefully it'll be a good one. And hopefully my voice, it won't sound too bad. But I'm pretty congested, and it wasn't anything too serious. It was kind of just like a bad cold, and yeah, I'm getting over it. But it hit me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't actually been sick for about a year, so yeah, it was interesting. But especially with everything that's going on in the world at the moment. But obviously, it wasn't that, and I'm feeling fine, to be honest. Anyway, enough about me being sick. Let's get into the month of April. Now, I don't really have any plans for storylines, so I'm going to have to make them up on the fly. We do also have David Stone's contract running out here. Now, I kind of said that I wanted to take a bit of a break from signing people. However, David Stone is only 24 years old, and he is, well, as you can see, he's groomed to be an eventual megastar. Really good popularity. We're going to go in. We pretty much have to at this point. For a guy like this, if he's kept at CWA, he will become probably their biggest star. So we want to try and get him away as soon as possible. Let's just start off with a sort of relatively low offer. So 54,200. We'll go with that. No, we won't go with that. We'll give him his 20% bonus, and now he should be... it's still only one of two offers. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to advance just one day. Now, I need to make sure that we don't lose him, because I've pretty much done that in the past. We obviously lost a recent CWA worker we were going for. But we also have Doc Hammond passing on some tips using psychology to Chip Martin there, so that's pretty good. Another beneficial thing. Now, I did say that either this episode or next episode, I am going to buy the developmental territory. I am indeed going to do that next episode, purely for the fact that I want this one to be a little bit shorter than we usually do. Anyway, we have the show right now as well. So let's do a quick little medal here, once again, between Mighty Kavanaugh and Davis. So we'll do some positive meddling, but 0 success rate. Anyway, we're going to go to Brampton, and let's take a look at the storylines. So, we've got a bit of revenge. Now, this one, I would like to end. So, let's just end that storyline straight off the bat. The emergence of Logan Wolfsbane, we are going to keep this storyline. However, we are going to remove Aldous, and we are indeed going to add in Maddie Faith. That is right. Maddie Faith will be taking on Logan Wolfsbane at the next pay-per-view to determine the official #1 contender. Because I kind of said in the last episode that whoever wins the Aldous versus Logan match will more than likely become our #1 contender. But as you can see, Maddie Faith is probably going to want to have a thing or two. He's going to have a thing or two to say about it. Up next, I want to change this storyline. We're not going to end this one. We're just going to take Matt Hocking away, or take him out of the storyline. We are indeed going to be putting in Giant Brody and Graham Gorman. Of course, if you remember from the previous episodes, they are now a tag team. We have Kilogram, and I really like them together. I think I've said that quite a few times. Anyway, what am I doing? Back into storylines. So Fracture in the Crew. I guess we can... You know what? I'm going to keep this storyline together. However, we're going to alter it. And let's rename it The Crew Reborn. So essentially it's going to... Well, like it says, the crew is going to be reborn under the leadership of Mobstar. So a lot of potential there for them to actually do some stuff now, which is nice to see. We also have this storyline where we had the team of Young and Wasted defeating the Golden Goats in a very highly rated match there, as you can see. I'm not sure if I want them to get a bit of revenge. We might leave this one. And then, not 100% sure what we do with this storyline here either. You know what? We're going to take the LA Stars out. And I think for this month, we might actually push... Yeah, let's do it. Let's push, what are they called? Northern Lights. I've completely forgot the name. But Alton Vicious. And let's add in his tag team partner. If I can find his name. I can't remember his name. So that's terrible. Riddick, there he is. For some reason, I'll blame the sickness, but that one was all me and my terrible memory. Anyway, there we go. So they're going to be our new #1 contenders. So we're going to have to try and boost them up because they are seriously lacking in popularity at the moment. Are there any more storylines we need? We don't really have anything there for... Yeah, we don't really have anything there for... Aldous Blackfriar. I guess we could maybe just do Aldous and Goldstein for a month. Let's have it as Forces of Darkness. Try to corrupt Goldstein. Yeah, I mean that could be our storyline, I guess, for the month. At least for this month. Maybe we might even continue with this one, to be honest. Okay, so that's all the storylines, I think. I mean, like I said, I didn't really think about them too much. Just wanted to get this episode recorded because I don't want you guys to go too long without an episode. So for this main event, I think we want to go with... I want to put a bit of faith into Taylor Norton because Young and Wasted were really, really impressive in that last episode. Of course, they went against the Golden Goats, so it was a pretty, decent opponent for them to be versing. But I think this should be a pretty good match overall. We might even have some distraction onto Logan by Maddie Faith at ringside, just to kick things off. Because, like I said, this will be a pretty good match, I would assume, and get that storyline, a little bit more advanced with Maddie in there. Let's go to a tag team matchup next. Let's have Kilogram take on Gary Walker. And he can team up with maybe Princeton Price. Just kind of need another heel, to be honest. There we go. Let's give Brody the victory. Of course, he is the big man, essentially the guy that we want to be the better of the two coming out of this sort of tag team with him and Graham. Up next, let's go with... Let's just have Mobstar take on some random... Let's go maybe one of the LA Stars. Let's go with the LA Star 1. We can maybe have the LA Stars take on the crew. I think he can call. One of them can call. I'm pretty sure it's #1. Yeah, it is #1. I think #2 has 62 psychology. A little bit worse in the ring, but he has more popularity. Anyway, obviously a non-title match there as well. All right, what else are we doing? Let's actually go a 6-man tag. Let's get the Frat Pack up on TV, at least for this show. So Cuba, Jack Jackson, and Zach. And I guess I was going to do this stable. I think maybe we might do it right now, actually. What what a perfect time to start this. But we're going to have an anti-Canada stable. We're going to essentially turn Patriot, Americana, and Blue Dragon. We're going to turn all three of them heels. And we might actually push them a little bit. So let's give the victory to Patriot, because he is by far the most over out of all these guys. I think all these guys in this match, actually. 52. I mean, Jack's 40. Cooper must be pretty close. Yeah, I mean, he's got 50 in Ontario. Alright, so this can be our storytelling as well, because obviously it is going to be a bit of a heel turn. I guess after the match, maybe we could have a bit of an angle. Let's add them as an actual stable as well. So let's go Masked Patriot, Americana, and Blue Dragon. Obviously, the leader being Patriot, and then we'll have two. We'll just make them members. Let's just call them anti-Canada. I mean, pretty straightforward. They're your sort of. I think I mentioned it. I might have mentioned it in. I think I mentioned it last episode, but if I didn't, basically they're like Team Canada from TNA back in the day with like Eric Young, Bobby Roode, those guys when they were sort of anti-America, trying to push the whole Canadian thing. So we're going to essentially do the opposite to that in regards to these guys being American. Double check they're all American. Yeah, Hispanic American, white American, and I'm assuming white. All right, perfect. That'll kick us off. Let's give them their proper name, Anti-Canada. And we might even bring in Captain Canada, possibly, to do a little storyline down the line, if he is available. Because he is essentially a Coalition original. So, yeah, there we go. Anyway, one more match, and we should be good to go. Let's just go another tag, because we do have maybe the Golden Goats needing to pick up a victory. Let's just go with our jobber team of these two. Zombie Boy and Original Sinner. And we'll give Zeus the victory, because I think he did take the pinfall. I'm pretty sure he did anyway. And Davis actually lost a decent amount of popularity as a result of that match as well. Alright, so there we go. That looks like a pretty good show. Let's book some angles. Let's go with Logan onto Maddie Faith. Actually, maybe we should do it the other way around. Let's do Maddie Faith onto Logan. Just some success there for Maddie. Actually, we might put this after the main event. Yeah, I'm going to put this one after the main event. Purely for the fact that, obviously, Maddie, you know, he's come out to ringside trying to cause a bit of a distraction. And then I might actually... Should I just go Taylor Norton? Let's see what Taylor can do. I know it's 8 minutes. It's a decent amount of promo time for a guy that's not the greatest microphone either. He's not terrible. I'm not going to script him just for the fact that I want him to potentially do as well as he can. I know he probably won't do it, but fine. Let's have Gary Walker cut a promo onto Graham Gorman, off screen, of course, before the match. Before they even come out, really. Obviously, focusing on him, not really focusing on Giant Brody, because Brody's not the one that he wants to have a Canadian title match against at the pay-per-view. So, that one's pretty funny. At least for the Gary Walker's side of it. Okay. We're all good. Up next, we need Mobstar. Might actually, let's just go with Mobstar, Papa Swole, and Public Enemy. So, a proper crew angle. All three on entertainment. It's going to tank the storyline, but I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter because the storyline's... It's not actually for anything, if that makes sense. So, it's more just to give them momentum and stuff like that. So, that's fine. Don't need to worry about it. like I said, they'll kind of just have an impromptu LA Star, LA Stars feud with the actual crew tag team. Not too sure what Mobstar's going to do, but he might get taken out. We'll have to wait and see. Potentially by Kavanaugh. We might have another rematch. Anyway, so let's go for this angle with Patriots. Hopefully, I hope that we can have both Americana and Blue Dragon at least in the angle. That'd be decent. We don't have a storyline for them. Should I make a storyline for them? I don't think it's really that necessary. Let's have it there. And then I want to go... Let's go a tainted victory. So, cheating to win. Funny, they're actually versing Americans, so... It kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense that their first match is against 3 other Americans. But there we go. Anyway, I guess from now on we can maybe have them verse Canadians. Would kind of make a bit more sense, but... Anyway, it is what it is. And then finally, let's just finish off with Davis. I guess Davis and Zeus, and they can cut it on to Brett and Taylor off camera. Off screen, I should say. That'll kick us off, give them some success. And we're pretty much ready to run the show. Let's advance that one. That looks pretty good. We're 2 minutes over. That one, that's fine. Alright, good to go. Pre-show. Let's go Disciples of Darkness 2. They can just take on Los Hermanos 3. Just on the pre-show, just a bit of a victory there for Aldous. Of course, he did lose that match. Pay-per-view. Logan, so... Alright, we'll do one more. We should probably get Angry Gilmore in there with some youngsters, I guess. Let's have Gilmore team up with the Northern Lights. Probably a good way to get them a little bit of momentum. And they can take on Rodney Rush for sure. Let's chuck in Zippy Deverell and Bowden's. Let's go Charlie. I know Charlie's actually pretty good, but I want to keep trying to improve him as much as possible. Might actually give the victory to Riddick Jordan there. The thing with... Yeah, the thing with the Northern Lights, like, the sooner I can get them more victories, like, they will be on the next show, don't get me wrong. Probably not a #1 contenders match, but we'll wait and see. What I might do is have sort of 2, I guess, like, qualifying matches to qualify for a #1 contenders match. What would be a semi-final? Anyway, run the show. We start off with a 58 rated pre-show match where we have Angry Gilmore and the Northern Lights defeating Rodney Rush, Zippy Deverell, and Charlie Corner in 11:39. When Riddick Jordan pinned Zippy Deverell with a flying headbutt. And of course, Angry Gilmore head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. The 58, it's pretty good. Oh, that's not good. Luckily, he's not injured, but as you can see, Alton Vicious visibly upset after the match. Rodney Rush almost injuring him with a botched move. Not great. Anyway, we go into a 76 rated pre-show tag match here where we have Disciples of Darkness 3 defeating Los Hermanos 3, 12:15 when Aldous Blackfriar submitted Ray Cavallero with a Gloomweaver clutch. And then, of course, in terms of in-ring, Aldous head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. Probably should have just put this one on TV. Kind of seems like a decent, TV match. Alright, we then kick things off with an 81 rated angle from the Golden Goats, and of course, they're talking about Young and Wasted, putting them over, in fact. And of course, they're the young up-and-comers, and both Davis and Zeus say they might have underestimated them a little bit at the pay-per-view. They got the victory over them, unexpected, and you have to say it was or Davis would say that it was a bit of a derailment in regards to his sort of comeback that he's been on recently. We then go into a very, very good match, which is a little bit surprising as well. We go into an 82 opening contest here where we have the Golden Goats defeating Disciples of Darkness in 11:49 when Zeus Maximilian pinned Original Sinner with a Thunderbolt. And of course, Davis head and shoulders above everybody else with a 93. The contrast in this match is insane. Got a 93 there for Davis and a 30 there for Original Sinner. Pretty funny. Anyway, we move on. That's a really good match though. And an old Scatterbrain over there actually doing pretty well calling. So I'm happy with that. All right, we then go into a 62 rated 6-man tag where we have Anti-Canada making the debut, team of Masked Patriot, Americana, and Blue Dragon. They do defeat the Frat Pack, so the top sort of up-and-comers in the company, and they defeat them in 9:54 when Masked Patriot pinned Jack Jackson by using underhanded tactics, cheating to win, and we finally have the heel turn of our 3 masked heroes, if you will, the 3 Patriots that are now anti-Canadian, and they are called Anti-Canada. Of course, we solidify that with this angle here, getting a 61. It's actually not terrible, but it's also only rated on Masked Patriot's entertainment skills. As you can see, he enjoyed having the freedom to go off script, and basically he says, or he establishes their stable, and puts over the fact that they hate Canada and they wish they were back in America. Simple, effective, probably get some decent heat with the crowd as well, being in Ontario. Being in Brampton, I know you can't really see that behind my face, but yeah, Brampton is where we are tonight. Anyway, we go into a 72 rate, I almost said 73, 72 rated angle here from the crew. Just your bog standard, new leader, Mobstar, kind of getting both Papa Swole and Public Enemy in line. Just trying to reiterate the fact that, everything's forgiven. Nothing to worry about. We're just going to go on the front foot. I'm the world champion, and you guys are soon to be the Coalition Tag Team Champions as well. There we go. Mobstar looking good, and Public Enemy working the crowd well. So all 3 rated on entertainment. All 3 unscripted as well. Okay, we then go into an 89 rated match where we have Mobstar defeating LA Style number 1 in 12:26 by pinfall with a flattener DDT. Yeah, 89 rated match. That one's, I knew it would be decent, but I didn't think it would get one below a 90. 89, that's very, very solid. Probably more than likely going to beat our main event. Anyway, we then move on to our Canadian title storyline, getting an 80 here for this opening angle, where we have Gary Walker. And like I said, he's cutting a promo onto Graham Gorman. And of course, Gorman and Brody are now a team. And Gorman is, of course, the smaller, much weaker version of Giant Brody. Like I said in the previous episodes, little brother, big brother sort of scenario. Graham's going to get himself into trouble. And then we're going to have Big Bad Brody come in and clean up for his quote-unquote little brother, All right, we then go into tag team action with all 3 of these guys, getting a 77, where we do indeed have Kilogram pulling off an upset, defeating Gary Walker and Princeton Price in 11:49 when Giant Brody pinned Gary Walker with a single-handed chokeslam. So, as you can see, Gary Walker now has a pinfall loss against Giant Brody, which you would have to argue probably or more than likely puts him into contention for the Canadian title. However, it is clear that Gary wants to verse Graham at the pay-per-view. So there could be a little bit of friction between Kilogram, and it's all sort of being stirred up by Gary Walker. Okay, we then go into an 82 rated angle from Taylor Norton. However, He struggled when going off script. So he's penalized, and he still managed to get an 82. Now, there were some comments, or there was a comment in the last episode that kind of compared Brett, Kyle, and Taylor Norton to Edge and Christian. And I really liked that sort of comparison. And basically, the comment was, one of them's probably going to find success, and the other one, essentially being Christian, not so much. And I would tend to agree with that. And as you can see, it could be Taylor Norton in that sort of Edge role, going for world titles. Obviously, tonight's a big test. And I have to say, despite, struggling off script, at the moment he's passing. Let's see the main event here. Whoa. Wow. I'll tell you what. To see a rating like that, it literally makes me happy that I decided to record this episode right now. Obviously, I'm sick. Late at night as well. And a 95 rated main event here, potentially being our best ever match. That is insane. The thing is, I don't understand. We get a 95 rating for this one. However, the in-ring is 92 for Logan, and a 70, only a 70 for Taylor. And we do indeed have Logan Wolfsbane defeating Taylor Norton in 1950 by submission with a Boston Crab. And then, of course, during the match, we also had Maddie Faith run in and distract Logan Wolfsbane. Just crazy. Insane. Obviously, we do have a hot storyline with it, so that kind of makes sense that we wouldn't get penalized. Obviously, with a penalty, we're not going to be getting a 95, and obviously we didn't get a penalty there with the storyline advancing, and of course, gaining more heat as a result. But as you can see, Taylor was penalized for inconsistency there, and of course, again, the low experience with the announce team. But as you can see, there's no announcing penalty. What a surprise. Yeah. Still a little bit frustrated about that from last episode. Anyway, not going to complain about this one, though, because that is insane. Hopefully, that 95 will beat CWA's main event. Anyway, I mean, what a way to end the show. We finish off with a 100 rated angle from Maddie Faith. Only his entertainment skills used here. And Maddie Faith essentially declaring himself as the #1 contender, saying that Logan doesn't deserve it, and Maddie Faith is by far the hottest rising star in professional wrestling. And Logan doesn't say anything in this angle. You can tell he's visibly pissed off. As you can see, Maddie Faith, superb, working without a script, had the crowd in the palm of his hand the entire time. Announcing quality lifted the segment, and the color commentary gave it a boost. So there we go. Anyway, let's finish the show. What a great show. That's our best ever show. That is our best ever show. We get a 93 for our first week of TV in Brampton, Coalition Wrestling, increasing our popularity in 56 regions. Insane. Wow. I have to say, I'm pretty pleased. I mean, I don't think the rest of the TV shows are going to be that good. But you know what? I don't even care, because having one of those shows like that, even though it was only a TV show, it really just lifts the spirit a bit. It just feels good. It just feels good to see something like that pay off. Again, it was kind of a random thrown together match, but at the same time, I booked it. So there we go. Anyway, let's start off these negotiations here. And just essentially see how high we're going to have to go up to land David Stone here. It's not looking good. It's going to be expensive, but he is the type of talent that we want to sign. He's 24. He's also Canadian. He's also a stone, which would be like the ultimate coup to get him away from CWA. Basically because his family is heavily involved with CWA. Not sure if he's... We'll go and check, but I think either his father is the owner or he was head booker or something like that. Of course, he used to be with... Pretty sure... Is it north of the border? Or was it CGC? I always get these two mixed up with what family. Obviously, we have the DeColts. Pretty sure the DeColts were CGC. I'm pretty sure. So that's 72. We are getting up there, man. All right, let me try 76, and then I might... Okay, 76 is going to do it. All right. We'll chuck that in. I'm assuming CWA will probably come back in again. I can't really see them just accepting that and letting him go. Anyway, we get a 2.10 TV rating, 1.579 million viewers on the Coalition Network. And, yeah, 1.661 overall. A measly, what is that? 80,000? 80,000 people on OnDem. Pretty low. Got Tex Tagan retiring there as well. Alright, yeah, Goldstein still has his morale issues. We kind of thought they might have been sorted out last episode. But I'm assuming they've come straight back as a result of me leaving him off that show. I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't matter anyway. Alright, look at the popularity there. 72 in Quebec, 83 in Ontario. Were we 82? We were already 83. I think we got 83 from the pay-per-view. 70 now in Manitoba, so we're only 7 points away in Manitoba, 5 in Quebec. And it's just Alberta and Saskatchewan still to catch up. But they're getting up there as well. 50 in Alberta, 56 in Saskatchewan as well. Pretty impressive stuff. Anyway, we're only going to do 2 days at a time. I need to take a sip of water. And let's see what happens with David Stone. I believe it's David Stone Jr., isn't it? I might be mistaken on that. Let me know if you guys know. Is it Junior, but it's not actually Junior in the game? Anyway. Left my microphone muted for a second there. All I was saying is either way, David Stone is going to be... He's going to be a main event talent pretty much from the get-go. Okay. See, I was kind of worried that this would happen. You got TCW, Oli, CZCW, BCG, WLW, all coming in for David Stone. I'm hoping we're still the top offer, though. No, we're not. So that's still being seriously considered. Everything else is not, though. That's annoying. That's really annoying, because now we have to go even higher. He will literally pick CWA over us, so we have to have the much higher bid. Otherwise, we're not going to get him. And Canadian talent like this will not come up very often. So we need to make sure we solidify him. I'm happy to pay 150. Obviously, I don't want it to come to that. But I'm down to pay upwards of 150 grand per week or per month. Sorry. All right, there we go. That's actually not too bad. It's only 88,000. Which I think is, it's only about 10k, was it 10k? I think it was about 10k more than the previous offer, so that's fine. Once again, we're only going to go 2 days at a time. Just got to make sure. Who's this guy? Monomaniacal. Never seen him before. I'm assuming he's based in Mexico. Got a pretty cool picture. I feel like he could like essentially be Gary Walker's bear. Now Gary Walker in his render, he actually has a bear with him. He could be the bear. They could be a tag team. We'll have a look at him. See where he's actually based. Funny, I've done, what, 50, this is episode 56, I believe, so... Still more. It's only Pride, Glory, and Burning Hammer. So I'm assuming they're not in that deep for him either. Yeah, okay, perfect. We're still top offer. We are still top offer. We're the front runner at the moment. Who's this guy? Zeke Cromstock. He looks pretty good. He's a big boy. He's 27 though. He's in a tag team with a whole lot of Marvin. Assuming that's not a normal tag team when the game starts. Anyway, we'll take a miss on him. We'll take a miss on him. I don't really feel like we need him per se. Again, our roster's pretty bloated, so want to just be adding the real top talents. Guys like Mainstream Hernandez, David Stone, and of course in just under a year's time, potentially Casey Glenn as well. Anyway, let's get into this next show. I believe Mainstream Hernandez will be available either for this show or for the next show. I know for sure the next show he'll be available, but maybe even this one as well. I'm looking forward to his debut. I know he's in Time Decline, but him as a potential stable leader, looking pretty good. And there we go. David Stone, potentially the biggest signing of the series so far. I know, the primaries don't look great right now. However, he is only 24 years old. 86 basics, 91 selling, good consistency, really good safety, really good stamina, 81 psychology, potentially even still improving in psychology, which would be beautiful if we can get that up to like 85. Ooh-wee, that'd be decent. Anyway, what do we got here? Got Yana Marie Bowen. Jana. Oh, she's still wrestling. Okay. I thought she might have been a manager, but no, she's actually wrestling. Would be a pretty decent signing if we wanted to start a women's division. Anyway, who's this? We've got Dolce Marino. Another manager as well. We don't need managers, like I've said recently. And Baby Jamie, the referee, who is pretty bad. He's just been offered a contract because he got released by US Pro, didn't he? Alright. Everything's looking good. New signing, Dan Stone. Let's actually go back and check our top 100s. That is by far and above our best show. That's insane. That's 2 points above Brutal Vengeance. 5. And that is indeed our best ever match as well. Logan Wolfsbane defeating Taylor Norton. Tied on a 95. That's an interesting one. I am kind of wondering, they're both in April as well. Interesting. Why is that one? Is it because of the T? I literally think because that is the Golden Goats. If it was Golden Goats, I think it would be number 1. You know what? I'm not complaining. I kind of would rather this match be ahead of the other one. Anyway, once again, let's do some more meddling. We've got some incidents here. We've got Lucinda Lush organizing and winning a video game tournament. And we got some tips on selling from Doc Hammond, passing on to Chip Martin again. Alright, so, I mean, we've got a lot of people away tonight, so no meddling. Actually, we might need to do some other meddling. We do indeed. Rodney Rush. And, yeah. Alton Vicious. Okay, perfect. First go. You know, all the meddling we've been doing for Davis and Kavanaugh, and then first go, we get a meddling success there, which is actually a really good thing to see. Actually, now that I remember, promises. Now, we only have one promise, and that is John Greed offering to put over Jack Jackson. So I should definitely use that at some stage. Even if it's just a random sort of TV match, just to, I guess, kickstart that push for Jack Jackson it would be pretty decent. And the backstage, as you can see, still at 100. I know I should probably do some of these rules down here, but honestly, we don't need to, so I don't really see the point in doing it. If that ever dropped below 100, then I'd probably put on like transport, chiropractor, you know, masseuse, these types of things that would actually help out. I believe they do help out the workers with their what do you call it? I'm not sure if it's resilience or if it's their actual physical health. I assume it's physical health. If you have a masseuse and a chiropractor, I'm assuming it helps out that sort of function in the game. Anyway, we're going to go to Hamilton for this show, and let's start booking. So, for this main event, I think I want to go in a similar fashion. However, I want to have Giant Brody taking on Maddie Faith in our main event for this one. Obviously, Maddie Faith not as over as Logan, so realistically, this match isn't going to do as well. However, it should still be pretty good. This one's going to be called. Excuse me. So I want to see the difference between that called match, because that other match was scripted as well. That should be said. It was scripted for 20 minutes. So let's see what this called match can do. Let's actually have a bit of a reverse distraction onto Maddie Faith by Logan. So once again, you know, continuing the sort of shenanigans that are going on. Actually, I guess we could technically have. Let's have an outside interference finish on Brody by Gary Walker. That'd be pretty good. Okay, I like that. So a little bit of involvement. It is a TV show after all. Kind of expect or at least some main events to be tainted. Did I make that tainted? I kind of made it decisive. You know what? We'll leave it decisive. We'll leave it decisive. All right. So we need to have a couple of tag team matches here. So let's have Disciples of Darkness 5, because they actually were really impressive on that last show. Do I want to go with them? Let's go with Los Hermanos instead, actually. They should have enough popularity to at least get the match over. Just so the fans won't hate the match itself. We'll give Alton a victory there as well, because he might be unhappy. I didn't really check. I wonder if, can Ray Caballero call yet? No, he can't. Okay, still only 52. I mean, he's only gained, what, 3 points this month? This year, sorry. And he's unhappy. That's hilarious. Alright, so Ray's going to lose. I'm going to have to keep him strong as well. Unfortunate, but there we go. Alright. We need another tag team match. So I think I want them to actually verse Disciples of Darkness on the next show. So they need to beat somebody. I guess LA Stars would make sense. So I'll make that storytelling. Let's give Zombie Boy. Actually, we'll give Sinner the victory. Let's do it. Sinner's going to pull off a pretty unexpected victory in the sort of story of his career. It will be tainted though, and it is going to be outside interference finish on LA Star 2 by Papa Swole, and LA Star 1 I guess. We'll just do one interference. And that looks pretty good. Yeah, so storytelling, perfect. All right. We are ready to go. With that one anyway. What are our other storylines? Let's do something with Goldstein. Let's have Mutant taken on Goldstein. And we're going to pull off a bit of an upset victory on this one. We'll go 16 minutes. And Mutant's going to get the win. However, it is going to be tainted as well. And it's going to be outside interference finish. Onto... Actually, maybe let's just go a distraction finish. Onto Goldstein. We'll have the lights go out or something like that. I think it could be pretty cool. Alright, and that'll probably kick us off. So we do need one more match. Let's once again have... Yeah, let's go with these guys. Let's go with Patriot. Actually, we haven't really done anything for the tag team storyline, have we? I guess we kind of are, but we also aren't at the same time. Alright, so I think in that case, I'll stick with what I wanted to do. Let's have John Greed and the Moneymakers. And once again, well, we have one Canadian in Stevie P. I believe Greed is also American. But they can actually take on anti-Canada. Because I just think it's pretty funny that they're actually not exactly targeting Canadians. They're kind of targeting Americans at the moment. Kind of maybe they're getting their wires crossed a little bit. And I guess for this one, probably want to give John Greed a victory. I know he's way past it at the moment. But we do still kind of want to use him a little bit. Alright, there we go. That looks pretty good. Let me chuck this one a little bit further in the show. I think that's good. So, let's have Logan... Yeah, let's have Logan's response onto Maddie Faith. I don't think we don't need an angle from Maddie Faith this show. And we'll just keep it for Logan, because Logan's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I wonder if Logan's actually gone up in more popularity as a result of that one match. Probably check Taylor as well. 65. I believe it's up 1 point. That's actually not that great. Considering, he had the angle as well. Yeah, so Logan, 92. I think he was already at 92, to be honest. Yeah. It was already there. It's perfectly fine. Alright, so that's his angle. Can't really go an angle there for the Northern Lights. What we might do is let's have Jackpot and Stevie P cutting an angle prior to this tag team match in particular. I guess they would kind of be taking a pretty intense look at the competitors, saying that they both have some potential, but neither of them are expected to be the opponents or to become the #1 contenders. Let's go with an Aldous and Mutant angle together, I think. So double entertainment, I think, for both of them. Won't be any success there, will there? So their angle will go after. Let's have Goldstein go in here as well. I guess to kick us off. Fine. And we do have a little bit more time. We could maybe go with anti-Canada. Or I could maybe just go with Mobstar. And maybe, well, yeah, let's go with just Mobstar and Papa Swole together, because this will be Mobstar issuing the attack during the tag team match. Kind of the crew getting their bearings back. That'll go. I think there is the best place to put it. That looks pretty good. All right, let's book a couple of pre-shows, and we should be good to go. Let's have the crew pick up a victory. They can just beat the Rock City Stars. Rock City Stars, I think they're both in time decline now, so they're both kind of past it a little bit. Now they were great for what they did, and that whole triple threat tag storyline that we've gone through for many months, prior to the emergence of some of these new teams. They did a great job, especially of like establishing our tag division, putting them on the map. Really good stuff there. All right, up next, let's go for Young and Wasted. They can team up with maybe Gilmore and Logan. Yeah. Take on Rodney Rush, who we really want to try and get him up to a decent level. Chuck in Zach. Let's chuck in Chip Martin would be a good one to throw in there as well. I mean, I would want to put Brett Kyle in there just to get his psychology up, but probably not the greatest idea. Let's go Jack Pride, because he also needs a bit of psychology. Bit of a help out. We'll give the victory to Brett. Of course, Brett is already in the match. I probably should have realized that, but doesn't matter too much. There we go. Yeah, it's fine. Go Quincy. Again, forgetting to put it on the pre-show. And clicking the same match twice. There we go. Okay. I'm assuming that match is probably going to do better with Gilmore, Wolfsbane, and then Young and Wasted in there as well. Anyway, let's run the show. We start the pre-show off with a 63 rated tag match where we have the crew defeating the Rock City Stars in 12:28 when Public Enemy pinned Rock and Ryan Turner with a Tombstone Piledriver. And then, of course, Public Enemy also being the weak link. And then we also had Papa Swole off his game as well. Really low attendance, I noticed. I guess we didn't really use Davis. We didn't really use... Actually, we did kind of have Aldous on the show. Logan's on the show as well. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Second pre-show match, 8-man tag. We have Angry Gilmore, Logan Wolfsbane, and Young and Wasted defeating Rodney Rush, Zach Powerson, Chip Martin, and Primetime Jack Pride in 11:32 when Brett Kyle pinned Rodney Rush with a shooting star press. Unfortunately, Angry Gilmore really off his game, so it's kind of unlike Gilmore there to be off his game, but 76 is pretty good for a pre-show, especially with a team. I don't want to call them jobbers, but I mean, two of them are at the moment jobbers. The other two, probably lower mid-carders. All right, we then kick off the show with an 83 rated angle for Ozzy Goldstein, of course, coming off that loss against Matty Faith, which really would have put him up in the pecking order for the world title, which, he would like to reclaim. He is a former world champion back in the day. And he then goes into a match which gets a 72, where we have Mutant pulling off an upset victory, defeating Ozzy Goldstein in 15:45 by pinfall with the Tina Turner, following a distraction from Aldous Blackfriar. So Aldous getting involved and kicking off our storyline where we have Forces of Darkness try to corrupt Goldstein. Of course, we go into the subsequent angle, which is Aldous Blackfriar coming out to darken. Well, he's already out, so I guess his distraction would have been the lights going dark, and then he maybe appeared at the end of the entrance ramp before Goldstein turns around and gets hit, with the Tina Turner from Mutant. Anyway, this angle, essentially Aldous, I guess, maybe foreshadowing at a possible dark turn for Goldstein. Nothing too serious, but we do get a 93. So both Mutant and Aldous rated on entertainment. So it's a pretty solid angle. All right, we then go straight into another angle. This one getting an 84, where we have Mobstar, and of course, as the new leader of the crew, he is giving out directions to Papa Swole, telling him to get involved and to, cause some real disruption amongst the tag division. Because they want to get their names back in the ring, for the number one contendership, and at the moment, they are definitely being overlooked. We then go into that first sort of qualifying number one contender tag team match. It's a 62. We have Disciples of Darkness 5 defeating the LA Stars in 11:40. An Original Sinner pinned LA Star 2 with a chokeslam following interference from Papa Swole. Of course, on this show we've got a lot of interference, not experience. Yeah, a lot of interference, a lot of matches. Probably too much, to be honest, but it really does help the storylines. And I guess this show could kind of just be seen as chaotic, massively chaotic in nature. All right, we then move into a 73 rated 6-man tag match where we have sort of stable warfare, if you will. We have Wall Street Enterprises defeating Anti-Canada in 12:07 when John Greed and Americana with a crash diet. And Jackpot Jordan, obviously, head and shoulders above everybody else in the match, picking up a 78. Which is interesting. I thought Patriot might be up there as well, but he's a little bit lower. 73 is still really good, though, when you consider that Americana and Blue Dragon are involved. All right, we then go into an 81 rated angle following that 6-man tag, where we have the Moneymakers. 81's pretty solid, for a scripted angle from them as well. Basically, them just saying that they're intrigued about the next matchup. Essentially, one of these two teams up next will have a 50-50 chance of becoming the number one contenders if they're able to win tonight and go into that number one contenders match next week. That match doesn't do too well, which I kind of expected. You guys probably expected it as well. Still a 54. It's solid enough. It's solid enough for arguably two lower mid-card tag teams. Where we have the Northern Lights defeating Los Hermanos 3 at 11:48. And Alton Vicious pinned Ray Cavallero with a vicious snap. It's actually not a bad match. We got a 51 from Gonzalez, a 44 from Riddick, and a 46 from Alton. So it's a pretty good rating considering the performers in the ring. So yeah, happy with that. We then move into a 96 rated angle, this time coming from Logan Wolfsbane, cutting a promo onto Matty Faith just before he's about to start his match in the main event against Giant Brody. And Logan says that he's going to issue a challenge to determine who is the official number one contender, and that will be crowned in the main event of the next pay-per-view. And Matty Faith kind of just accepts it. He doesn't really say anything, just kind of nods, and it looks like it's on at the pay-per-view. Logan taking on Matty Faith, probably our two biggest stars at the moment, I guess, rising through the ranks. Obviously, Matty's a little bit lower down on the popularity scale, but he's still there or thereabouts, so... And he's done really well. He's pretty hot at the moment as well, coming off that victory. But then again, so is Logan, defeating one of the most over workers in our company in Aldous Blackfriar. The main event, it tanks a little bit. Yeah, it's not great. For good reason, though. We get an 81 here. Nowhere near as good as the last show. But we do have Matty Faith defeating Giant Brody in 1942 by pinfall with a leap of faith. During the match, we also had Logan Wolfsbane distract Faith. And we were also supposed to have Gary Walker get involved. As you can see, the storyline advanced. However, can't actually see his involvement in the match. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, as you can see, unfortunately, Giant Brody's sustaining chronic shoulder pain, which is bad. And the injury, he worked through took a big toll on the match. Unfortunately, only got a 59 due to that injury. Hoping it's not a botched move from Matty. Doesn't look like it. Like, oh, yep, it is. Okay. Come on, Matty. He got a 91 in-ring performance, but he's going to botch a move. Botch a mania, I guess. Anyway, we get an 83 for this show. Not the best, not the best. And as you can see, no popularity increase there for Ontario, which is to be expected with our 83 popularity. We're not going to increase if we're only getting 83. We would technically be pretty close to losing popularity in that region if we were to get lower than an 83. All right, so there we go. We got Mainstream Hernandez officially in the company, and Logan relocating to Ontario as well. Pretty cool. We do keep above the 2.0 TV rating, getting a 2.03 there. Lost about, what's that, about 60,000, 62,000 viewers on the network. But that's okay. Oh, it's unfortunate. Crippler Ray Kingman passing away. I believe didn't he used to be the CPW, the California Pro Wrestling? He used to be the owner or something like that. Going to show a little bit of my knowledge there. I don't know. I might be wrong. Anyway, up to 57 in Saskatchewan there. So 1 point gained from that show. Looking pretty good. And we do have the debut. The debut of Mainstream Hernandez coming up in this next episode. So that's pretty cool. I have no idea what I'm going to call this episode. The fact that we've got Mainstream debuting. We just signed Dan Stone. We also had our best ever match and our best ever show. What am I going to call the episode? It's probably going to be our best ever show. Yeah, I mean, it has to be. Surely it does. Alright, well that's probably the title. It might be different, I don't know. I'll probably change my mind. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I need another sip of water. Struggling over here. Alright. Last show of the episode. I feel like we're actually doing pretty well for time. Haven't really been rambling too much. I've done a little bit here and there, but obviously with me being sick, kind of don't want to talk as much. So there we go. It's also really hot. I'm sweating a lot, so I don't want to just get this episode done and get it out for you guys. Patiently waiting for, I think it's been 3 days since I last uploaded, so usually it's only, 2 days of, well, a 2-day break maximum. It's been a while since I haven't actually posted in a 3-day period, if that makes sense. Because usually I try and do, every other day, 1 day's break, if you will. Obviously, back when we were still doing Val Pro, that was a little bit different. We were trying to do daily episodes, and I have to say, that definitely kind of burnt me out of that particular series. I don't think I could actually be burnt out of local to global, because I know I say that, and I hopefully it never happens, is what I'm trying to say, but right now, I just enjoy playing this so much. Honestly, I don't think I could properly get into another sort of YouTube save, if you will. I think the only thing that I'll potentially be able to get into is the Thunderverse when it comes out. When that comes out, who knows? But I think I would like to maybe live stream the Thunderverse, because I've never played it before. I think it's a really fresh, thing that me personally, I've never played it, but I've never even seen anyone play it as well. I've never seen a series or anything like that. I know there are probably some out there, and there definitely have been in the past. But yeah, I've just never seen it. So it would literally be me live streaming a completely fresh, massive universe that I would literally have more or less no idea of what I would be doing. So there we go. Anyway, we got Angry Gilmore here passing on some tips on the microphone. to Bowden Snoop. That's pretty good. Happy about that. And yeah, we can do some more meddling. This time we have to meddle between Brody and Maddie Faith. And we go 2 for 2. Back-to-back meddling success. No, we cannot. Okay. Alright, and once again, we're going to go to Ottawa. No, we're not. We're going to Mississauga. It's not the go-home show, is it? Alright. Main event time. What are we doing? We are going to have a tag team match. We are going to have Logan Wolfsbane teaming up with... Ooh, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. He's going to team up with Aussie Goldstein to take on the team of Maddie Faith and Aldous Blackfriar. What a team. Aldous and Maddie. If I can find his name, that'd be great. He's up to 83 popularity there as well. But this one, it's going to go for 20. We do have the hot storylines here as well, but Maddie Faith is going to win. Goldstein's going to lose again. And part of me wants to keep Logan strong. It's going to destroy the match rating. But honestly, at the same time, Logan's second most over in the company, I believe. I might be wrong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. I think Mobstar is just above him. I did do... Yeah, okay, perfect. There's our main event. That's... I mean, if a match could get a 95 without the kept strong, probably that match could do it. Again, Aussie Goldstein. I mean, should I just try and give him a bonus? Let's just give him some money. Let's give him like 5 grand. I mean, it's probably not even going to do anything, to be honest. It won't even get rid of his morale issues. Yeah, he's still annoyed. There we go. Yeah, literally did nothing. You know what? I'm going to do it again, because I'm a bit of a sucker. Let's give him 10 grand. Now, if that doesn't do anything, I don't know what will. So he's still annoyed, and he still has morale issues. Okay. Never mind. Alright, let's book the rest of the show. Now, we did have that other tag team match, so it is going to be Disciples of Darkness 5 taking on the Northern Lights. Still don't have popularity. It's a bit of a worry. It is a bit of a worry indeed. Let's give the victory to Alton, I think. Obviously, the loser has to be Sinner. I know he just picked up a win, and we're now making him lose, but it needs to be called as well, doesn't it? Alright, there we go. Happy days. New #1 contenders. Like that match. Let's go... Alright, let's do this match here. So we're going to go another tag match. We're going to go the Crew taking on LA Stars. However, this one is going to finish a draw. And it is going to essentially be a double DQ. So there's going to be no real winner to this one. It's going to be decisive. Double DQ finish. Double DQ. There we go. That can be storytelling as well. Not really too fussed how it does. Alright, other matches. Let's go for... maybe Davis versus Brett. And that could be I mean, if we made that the main event, that could potentially do as well as Logan and Taylor did earlier. But let's go with victory this time for Davis. So Davis is going to get a little bit of momentum back on his side, which might make him start to think that Zeus is kind of the trailing behind, momentum sucking tag team partner that he has. Anyway, I think we do have to script, don't we? I think Brett has better psychology. I might be mistaken, but I think he does. Didn't want to finish booking that, but there we go. We'll make that decisive as well. Good to get a decisive victory on the card, isn't it? There we go. And then finally, let's maybe have a... Let's just go a 6-man. Let's have Gary Walker be on one team. And then we'll have... We need the debut of Hernandez. Let's have Gary with Hernandez. I guess that can kind of be his debut. I mean, it's not exactly very exciting. And I guess they can take on Graham. Can't do Brody anymore, so that's unfortunate. We could throw Gilmore in there. Yeah, why not? And then maybe Hocking as well. We still need one more partner. Princeton? Yeah, we'll go Princeton. Princeton's pretty over. He's got 68 popularity. So I guess we'll give the victory to Hernandez on debut. And the loser can be Hocking. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Just a nice little debut there, to be honest. For mainstream Hernandez. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's book some angles. So we'll kick it off with Hernandez. Just a nice angle for him to kick the show off. Let's go let's just go another Mobstar crew angle. I know it's pretty cheap. We're not really doing anything with Mobstar, but kind of trying to use him to get the crew over, which will be beneficial for the tag division, and eventually down the line, it'll be a pretty good, well, start to Papa Swole's eventual push as well. And I would like to have Papa Swole taken on Mobstar somewhere down the line. Doesn't have to be for the world title, but just, you know, it'll be decent. It'll be decent. What I do want to do here, though, is actually give Brett Kyle and Taylor, I want to give them an angle. I might actually script them as well. Because he did fail that angle. He did fail that scripted angle. Non-scripted angle, sorry. And I don't really want to repeat of that, because it could have been really good. Could have been a really solid angle there. Down. What am I doing? There we go. Let's go another Jackpot and Stevie P angle here as well. I won't script them because it's only two of them. Usually I would script them if they were with John Greed, but it's perfectly fine. Hopefully get them a little bit more popularity as well. Would be decent. And then I guess we'll finish. Yeah, we'll finish off with Aldous and Maddie Faith in an angle together. Should be, hopefully it's a 100. That'd be very decent. And a very decent way to actually end the show. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's add a quick couple of pre-show tag matches. Let's have Red, White, and Blue. They can get a victory onto Chip and Bowden on the pre-show. Let's push. We'll try and push Blue Dragon coming out of this sort of tag team. You know what? I mean, can we call yet? I don't know if we can. Chip's got to be getting up there, surely. Only 53. And I say only 53, but he was 44 to begin the year, or in this last year. He's now up to 53, so that's 9 points. That's a pretty good increase. That is a pretty good increase throughout the course of a year. Yeah, very, very decent. Very decent. And then our next match, we'll go 6-man. Pretty much whoever's left. Actually, you know what? Let's go Cuba. We'll go the Frat Pack. They need to maybe get a victory back as well. We of course need to keep pushing Zach. So we'll go Asono. Let's go Willie LaRue. And let's go for... yeah, I mean, Jack Pride. That looks pretty good. I mean, pretty solid teams across the board there. And I think we'll give Jack the victory back because he did take a pinfall loss recently. So, yeah, it just makes sense. Pre-show. There we go. All right, let's run the show. Let me check that second. All right, so we start off with a 44 rated pre-show match. Glad it's on the pre-show. We have red, white, and blue. Apologies, had to sneeze. We've got red, white, and blue defeating Chip Martin and Bowden Snoop in 12:27 when Blue Dragon pinned Chip Martin with a Dragon Driver. Americana really off his game. But there we go. Not a bad match. Try and improve these guys. Their momentum's probably, I would assume it's literally in the toilet. So there we go. And then we go into a 62 rated, second 6-man tag on the pre-show. I guess the pre-show main event, really. But we have the Frat Pack defeating Yuta Usono, Willie LaRue, and Primetime Jack Pride in 12:05. Jack Jackson pinned Willie LaRue with an implant DDT. And yeah, Cooper was head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. Good stuff. Okay, so we then kick off the show with a 66. It's not terrible. And again, at the same time, Mainstream has really, really good entertainment stats. However, he has very low popularity. So at the same time, it's not going to be incredible to kick things off. But that's okay. That's acceptable. He's a mid-carder at the moment with main event level stats, basically. And yeah, debuts his mainstream star gimmick, getting an initial rating of adequate. So that's pretty good as well. Gimmick changes, or the gimmick pros and cons. Not suitable to a heel, so that doesn't apply. And also gives a small penalty to the microphone skill during angles. That's obviously not great, but it's probably not going to have too much of an effect because Hernandez is above and beyond, on the entertainment side of things. But it does give a small boost to star quality during both matches and angles. So that's actually really good because he does already have, really high star quality. So that's essentially only going to benefit things even more. So I'm very happy with that. We then get his debut match, which is actually pretty decent. We get an 80 rated 6-man tag to open the show. We have Gary Walker, Mainstream Hernandez, and Princeton Price defeating Graham Gorman, Angry Gilmore, and Matt Hocking in 11:48. Mainstream Hernandez pinned Matt Hocking with an Apparition 14. That's a good match. Very solid 80. All right, we then go into a 73. It's a little bit lower than the usual true angles, but again, this one's kind of just, Mobstar telling the crew that they need to continue to lift their game. He's been impressed that his leadership has, lit a bit of a fire in the bellies of both Enemy and Swole. Going into their tag team match, getting a 65 where we see the crew drawing with the LA Stars 12-19 following a double disqualification. Basically, all hell breaks loose. The crew are just fired up. They start going at it. We got steel chairs, we got weapons, we got all different kinds of things. LA Stars doing the same thing. They might have a kendo stick, whereas the crew has, chairs. A table might have been pulled out as well. And I guess maybe to storyline purposes, maybe we have Papa Swole power bombing one of the stars through the table. Anyway, the match getting a 65. It's not terrible, considering both these guys are also pretty low on the old popularity scale. Okay, we then go into arguably our most over tag team, our actual legitimate tag team. We have the team of Young and Wasted getting a 77 rated angle, so it's not terrible. Pretty good. They are both scripted on this one. And it's worth mentioning, I think Brett has significantly lower stats compared to Taylor, so the entertainment's not great. It's kind of one-sided, if you will. But they say that they want to win back their tag team titles. And they want to, put the Golden Goats to bed, prove that they are the best tag team in the coalition, and then reclaim those titles from the Moneymakers. Potentially, the pay-per-view after this next one. That's a really good match as well. We get an 83 rated singles match where we do have Davis Wayne Newton continuing his quest for success, if you will, defeating Brett Kyle, one half of Young and Wasted, in 15:35 by pinfall with a fisherman suplex. Obviously, like I said, this match not as good as Logan versus Taylor, but still, it's pretty good. I've got a 92 there from Davis and only a 64 from Brett, which is interesting because I think Taylor got a 70. So yeah, very interesting. But this did get penalized because there was no lack of there was a lack of storyline heat. So it did get the double penalty. So that could have been a lot higher as well, had there been some sort of higher storyline heat associated. All right, we then go into a 76 rated angle, this time from the Moneymakers. Once again, doing a bit of scouting before before the number one contenders match between Disciples of Darkness and Northern Lights. Jackpot looked good, and Stephen Parker did not do well without a script to follow. Stevie P, always feel like he's letting this team down a little bit. He's still really good though, even though he's in time decline. Alright, the number one contenders match actually does a little bit better than I thought it would. I thought it'd be in the 50s somewhere, so we get a 61 for this number one contenders match. And we do indeed have the Northern Lights defeating the Disciples of Darkness 5 in 12:24 when Alton Vicious pinned Original Sinner with a vicious snap. Sinner obviously the weak link, and Sinner was really off his game. Typical. Okay, new number one contenders, the Northern Lights, and they will take on the Moneymakers for the titles at the pay-per-view as well. Alright, we then move into a 100 rated angle. I mean, putting these two together, I kind of expected it. As you can see, they both clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script. I would assume that it would be a very entertaining angle and probably a bit of a funny angle as well. And I kind of imagine Aldous being kind of creepy, creeping Maddie Faith out, and Maddie's just kind of having none of it, just not really too impressed by the I guess the advances of the occult leader, Aldous Blackfriar. The main event gets us an 85, so it's solid enough. It's good. It's really good. I like it. I'm happy at least it got the 85. If it was still a green rating, I'd probably be a little bit upset. Like I said, 85 and above, I'm pretty happy with that. We do indeed have Aldous Blackfriar and Maddie Faith defeating Logan Wolfsbane and Ozzy Goldstein in 2030 when Maddie Faith pinned Ozzy Goldstein with a leap of faith. So big victory there for Maddie Faith, getting the pinfall. And again, with this match, we did actually keep Logan strong. So essentially, this could have been a lot higher. Let's have a look at the penalties here as well real quick. Okay, so we got penalized for the Forces of Darkness Goldstein, so the Aldous versus Goldstein angle. So it did technically still get one storyline penalty for the match. We also got low morale. Low morale for Maddie Faith? Oh, why is he upset? Interesting. Anyway, we'll have to take a look at that. We also got low experience there for our announcers, which is something we're going to have to put up with for quite some time. Anyway, let's finish the show. We get an 86, so 3 points better than the last one, but obviously 7 points, 7 whole points lower than that first TV show. But then again, it's our best ever show on the series so far. So there we go. Anyway, been a great episode. Really good. Even though I'm sick, I feel like I've kind of forgotten about it a little bit and just enjoyed myself. We'll take a quick little look at some popularity before we head off. We'll take a look at the company popularity. I want to have a look at the US. See what's sort of going on over there. We get a 2.05, so that's up, 0.01 from last week's TV show. Where are we? CWA. Getting a 99 rated match. Okay, there we go. And a 91 rated show. I'm assuming we probably beat their best show. We can actually let's go back. I probably should have checked it after that show, but I think I was just a little bit too, hyped up, if you will. All right, so history. Oh, they actually have a B show, I guess. they've got game time, which is only like a fairly recent thing. Pretty funny. I love how they have 4 angles back to back. Very interesting. Anyway, so it would have been. Where are we? That was their pay-per-view just recently. Okay. So we need week 1, don't we? They beat us. They actually beat us. We had our best ever show, and they managed to beat us, getting a 94 to our 93. That's insane. To be fair, they did get a 99 rated main event there, with the Mob defeating Jared Johnson and Lightning Lomas. And another pretty big match as well. We got Jack DeColt, Mikey Lau, and Mark Dubois defeating Griffin and Neo. So, yeah, pretty good stuff there from CWA, I have to admit. That kind of sucks. I'm kind of glad I didn't look at that at the time, because it might have actually, brought me down a little bit. I have to say, one of my favorite episodes, this one, despite me actually being sick. There we go. 71 in Manitoba, 73 in Quebec. We are 4 points away. And we're finally up to 51 there in Alberta. So we're only 26 points away from going up to big size in Alberta. That's awesome. That's really, really good. Let's check the US as well. The US is looking good. That's looking real healthy. We've got a lot of over 50s now. Pretty much every region except for New England, who's 49. And then, of course, Puerto Rico and Hawaii. I'm wondering if there's maybe... I might take a look off camera, but there might be another pay-per-view broadcaster that we can potentially go with. We do have, I guess... We went with a year, so we still have 7 months left. Roughly on both of them. But we are medium with our pay-per-view coverage, so maybe we don't need to even change, because I'm not sure if we would actually get big pay-per-view size carrier. We might be close to it. We might be close. I'll have a look. Anyway, quick look at the popularity here. So Aldous didn't actually gain anything from that victory, but I'm hoping Maddie Faith did. Maddie's up to 84. He is annoyed. I guess he's annoyed at that botch move that he did. Yeah, he's annoyed at his own botched move. That's just frustrating. That really is frustrating. The fact that would have dragged that match rating down just that little bit more. Anyway, who else? Let's double check Logan. Still at 92, which is perfect. And then, I mean, who else is there? I mean, Mobstar hasn't really done anything, so he's still at 92 as well. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. We didn't really do too much in the ways of actually trying to push people, I guess. We will be pushing Hernandez pretty hard, probably from the get-go. I would almost want to do maybe Hernandez versus John Greed, and then move Hernandez on to maybe someone like Princeton Price or even Graham Gorman, and then finish up with another storyline, I guess, with Angry Gilmore before. By then, after the Angry Gilmore match, he should probably be main event popularity, I would say. Anyway, that is the end of the episode, guys. Hour and a half, just under. Make sure you smash a like if you haven't already. I know most of you have liked the video. You probably smashed the like button when you saw that 95 rated main event in that first TV show. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that as well, guys. And of course, click the little bell icon, and that'll keep you. It'll keep you notified when these episodes come out. Like I said, it's been a few days, so you probably want to be notified when it actually does come out. That way, you don't have to keep coming back, checking the channel, or wait for it, to pop up in your subscription boxes as well. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm gonna go sleep now. Take it easy, and I hope you guys take it easy as always. And goodbye.